Module 2. How can data be manipulated? Look for data to teach about economic change and world inequalities. There are many international organizations that collect economic data, such as the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, and United Nations. They have created online maps useful for the topic, and it is possible to explore them, for example, on GDP, reviewing the data available. The World Development Indicators from the World Bank website offers maps and examples with the option to download map data in CSV, XML or Excel format. It is possible to change the year or to change the indicator. There are differences in mapping the data between absolute figures and per capita figures. For example, with gross domestic product, the most commonly used single measure of a country's overall economic activity. Per capita GDP represents the total value in terms of the final goods and services produced within a country during a specific time period, divided by the average population for the same year. In order to compare different countries, it is very useful to use the purchasing power parity, PPP, a theory which relates to changes in the nominal exchange rate between two countries' currencies to change in the country's price levels. The International Monetary Fund has a selection of indicators, datasets, available for mapping. The data for 2020 shows a big decline in GDP due to the COVID-19 pandemic that has been called the Great Lockdown. The IMF periodically update their own data. The World Economic Outlook Database, WIO. They state that, due to the high level of uncertainty in current global economic conditions, the April 2020 WIO database and statistical tables contain only these indicators: real GDP growth, consumer price index, current account balance, unemployment, per capita GDP growth, and fiscal balance. Projections for these indicators are provided only through 2021. Therefore, it is advisable for this module to use data from the entire World Economic Outlook database, April 2019. According to Callan in 2009, GDP is not a measure of the overall standard of living or well-being of a country. Therefore, the UN have created other indicators to help give a better understanding of inequalities in well-being between countries, such as the Human Development Index, HDI, which ranks countries based on life expectancy, literacy, and school enrollment, among others like multidimensional poverty, clean water, electricity access, unemployment, healthcare, average salary base, transport density, proportion of people living below 50% of median income by age 6, and persons with disabilities. The Gini coefficient is also an important indicator for inequalities. You should also be aware that inequalities also exist within countries, within cities, and within neighborhoods. It is possible to create new data by combining information from the dataset. In this case, the changes between 2015 and 2017 have been selected, because 2017 is the most recent year that seems to provide a consistent and complete dataset, and 2015 is a year in the middle of the economic recovery from the 2008 crisis. The layers and data needed for this activity are the topology of the countries layer, and the GDP dataset with any georeferenced field. In this case, it is a CSV file with the GDP data per capita in PPP current international dollars.
Thank you very much, and don't miss the next module session.